Hello, everyone at Falling Walls. My name is Bill Wiesler, and I'm the director of the Blavatnik Fund for Innovation at Yale University. Yale is grateful to the Blavatnik Family Foundation for $25 million in grants to Yale that support advancement projects that address major unmet medical needs. Blavatnik also supports cultivation of the next generation of bio-entrepreneurs through a Blavatnik Fellows program. So it's a great honor to be introducing Felix Biotechnology today, a company spun out of Yale that has benefited from both the Blavatnik project funding and the Blavatnik Fellows program. The life-saving phage technology you'll hear about today has received 2 Blavatnik awards, and presenting for Felix today is Natalie Ma, a Blavatnik Fellow at Yale. Natalie brings business acumen and energy to the Felix team, and it's my great pleasure to introduce you to her today.
Breaking the Wall of Antibiotic Resistance, Natalie Ma, Felix Biotechnology.
And it's an honor to be here today presenting to all of you about Felix Biotechnology and how we are breaking the wall of antibiotic resistance. So this is Paige. She's a cystic fibrosis patient, which means she's constantly battling bacterial infections in her lungs that threaten her life. In 2017, she was admitted to the hospital for a bacterial infection and released a month later, not because she was better, but because all the antibiotics that they gave her failed to cure the infection, and there was nothing else her doctors could do for her. And Paige isn't alone. She's one of millions of people today threatened by antibiotic-resistant infections. In fact, this right here is a prescription I was given that's a second-line therapy for a drug-resistant infection I have right now. And this problem is only going to get worse. In current day, the WHO estimates that roughly 700,000 people die each year from antibiotic-resistant infections. For some context, that's about the same number of people who die each year from gastric cancer. However, in only 30 years, unless we act now, that number is going to be more than 10-fold higher, at 10 million deaths per year. That will be more than all cancer deaths combined. And that's just deaths. That doesn't include loss of quality of life. It doesn't include loss of productivity. It doesn't include the fear we would feel when a friend or a loved one gets a cut or a scratch. Because at that point, it won't just be people like Paige who are threatened. It will be all of us. And this is happening because the antibiotics that we have used for so long, the bacteria have evolved resistance to them. So what do we do faced with this threat? This is our solution, phage. Phage are viruses that infect bacteria, killing them, and they're actually part of a long therapeutic history. They have been used for centuries to treat infections. In fact, Felix Biotechnology, the namesake of our company, was using phage to treat infections a century ago. However, they faced many challenges in commercial development, and the biggest one is, just like antibiotics, bacteria are going to evolve resistance to them. So we at Felix took a look at this and thought, is there a way we can actually turn evolution to our advantage? So this is our insight and our key intellectual property and platform. We not only treat using phage, but we actually target those phage to the specific mechanisms that underlie antibiotic resistance, so that we're treating and killing the bacteria, but also those bacteria that are left over in the body are now susceptible to antibiotics. This ensures that you always have a treatment option. So I could show you some in vitro or in vivo data here, but what I'm most excited to show you are our data from patients. We have been able to treat patients in the United States on a compassionate use protocol. These are patients with no other treatment options. And one of those patients was Paige. Here you see her status before phage therapy. She has a lower FEV, which means she struggles to breathe. She has a lot of bacteria in her lungs, and those bacteria are resistant to all the antibiotics tested. Here you see her status after phage therapy. She has a higher FEV, which means that she's breathing easier. This doesn't just improve her quality of life, it prolongs her life. She also has less bacteria in her lungs, and those bacteria are now sensitive to a majority of antibiotics tested. So this is not just an idea, it works, and it has saved Paige's life. And we've been able to treat a total of 13 patients on this compassionate use protocol with similar positive results. So this is our vision. We will end the threat of antibiotic resistance with the precision of a scalpel, removing only the pathogenic species while leaving the rest of the microbiome intact and ensuring that what's left over is still treatable in subsequent rounds of therapy. We're starting with Pseudomonas aeruginosa infections within respiratory disease, which is a $3.6 billion market and has an initial beachhead market in a rare disease with favorable regulatory elements. We're going to go from there to expand out to the microbial infections market that is predicted to be $60 billion in only 5 years, with the goal of having a precision therapy for every infection. We're not the first to pitch phage therapy, but we will succeed because we are the ones who have thought about the challenges in development and have put together a team to address it. So with that, I would like to announce that the future is phage. Thank you.